Hello, this is Kush Sharma from smoothblogging.com. Welcome back to the How to Get Traffic to Your Blog video series. And in this video, we learn how to get traffic to your blog by using a technique called guest blogging. And as the name suggests, guest blogging is all about you being a guest on someone else's blog and you write a piece of content for their blog so that you get a share of their traffic back to your blog. Okay. So what basically happens is when you start a blog, okay, initially your blog is new, so it doesn't get too much traffic, but someone else might have a blog which deals with the same topic that your blog is about, and since their blog is already established, they're getting a lot of traffic. So what you do is you contact the owner of that blog and you ask their permission to write a piece of content for them, so they get your content, okay, and in return you get a share of the traffic that their blog is getting. Okay, so it's a give and take situation. And I'll just tell you how to go about this. So the first way, the most basic way to know about blogs which allow guest posts is just your own knowledge. So if you started your own blog, you're passionate about the topic, so you might already have been reading different kinds of blogs which deal with the same topic, and you might have an idea whether they allow guest posts or not, because you might have read guest posts on their blogs. So that's the first criteria. Do you have something like that in mind? If you have, go ahead and contact that person or that blog owner. The second way is, just like we did in blog commenting, we have to find blogs in the same niche as ours which are good, okay, which get a lot of traffic. So what the first thing you can just do is, so suppose my blog is about body weight exercises. So what I can do is I can just go to Google, type body weight exercises blog, okay, and what I can do is all these results which will come on the first page will usually be all good blogs, okay. And how you can check that is, when you open blogs, you can see how many shares they're getting, how many shares the articles are getting, how many comments the articles are getting, and once you know that number is high, you can know that it's a very popular blog, okay. Because you have to remember one very important thing, that you only want to guest post on a blog which gets a lot of traffic, okay, because that is the sole purpose of guest blogging, that you get traffic back to your website. But if the blog is not getting a lot of traffic, then your article won't get a lot of traffic, and if your article doesn't get a lot of traffic, you don't get a lot of traffic, okay. So make sure it's a good blog that you choose to guest post on. So you can just, what you can do is, on the first 1 or 2 pages of Google, you can go through all the blogs and you can just see whether the blog is popular or not, whether the blog is good or not, and then you can just find out, you can just skim through the blog and you can just see whether they allow guest posts or not, okay. So normally when they allow guest posts, so if let's just see this blog, okay, normally when they allow guest posts, there'll be something which says along the lines of write for us, guest post for us, accepting guest posts, or something like that, okay. So normally it's in the menu here, okay. If not, you can see something down, okay. Maybe sometimes it's in the contact us. So when you click on this, sometimes they ask you whether you want to write for them or not. Sometimes you can just contact the owner by using the contact us page and just ask them straight away whether they're accepting guest posts or not, okay. So this is just the basic way of finding out and finding a blog which allows guest posts. But if you just want to make sure, if you're not able to find any blog which is accepting guest posts, what you can do is you can use this particular technique which I'm going to tell you. What you can do is you can go to Google and you can type your topic, okay. So let's say the broad topic, okay. So since my blog is about body weight exercises, I'll type something like gym, okay. So the first thing that you type will be about what your blog is generally about, okay. So if your topic deals with, let's say, if you have a blog which deals about skincare, so here you can write skincare, or you can write cosmetics, or you can write even health or something like that, okay, facial. So basically you have to use a keyword which is related to your blog. So I'll use gym, and then after that what you have to do is just open double quotes and type something like guest post, okay. Or you can type accepting guest posts, or you can type guest post guidelines. So basically we are just searching for a phrase which might be used by the blog owner, which allow guest posts. So these are the kind of phrases normally used by websites or blogs that allow guest posts. So there'll be some particular phrase which say something like guest post or accepting guest post or guest post guidelines. And when you put this in inverted commas, this double inverted commas, you're saying to Google that search exactly this phrase. Okay, this is an exact search. So what it does is it will find only those websites which have this particular phrase, guest post. Okay, so immediately we'll come to know, first of all, you've written the industry that you're in, so it will only search blogs which are related to this keyword. And secondly, since you put this in the inverted commas, double inverted quotes, it will search those blogs which are in this industry which have this particular phrase on their web page. Okay, and if they have this, most probably they'll be accepting guest posts. So I'll just see how this works. So if I just type gym guest post and I do a Google search, okay, so you can see that these are all blogs, and you can see guest posts. So these are all blogs in the gym industry or in the health industry which are accepting guest posts. So these are perfect for me. I can approach these owners for a guest post. Okay, so let's just check out this link. Okay, styleandfitness.com. so you can see this is some blog about, I think, about women's fitness, and you can see that some person has written a guest post, do you ever wear makeup at the gym? Okay, but if you just look at this, now my first criteria is solved. I know of a blog, this is in the fitness industry, and they allow guest posts. But the criteria which doesn't match here is that it's not a very popular blog. If you see just 2 comments here, okay, the blog doesn't look too great. There's nothing here, there's no social media share buttons. So I don't want to guest post on such a blog. Okay, I want to find a better blog. So I close this and I just see other blogs. So I'll just try this one, how to turn your garage into a home gym. So this website is The Art of Manliness, reviving the lost art of manliness. So I know it's in the same niche as mine. It's about health and fitness. And this is a guest post, how to turn your garage into a home gym. You can see that it's written here, this post is sponsored by Ram Trucks. And this is a guest post from Jared Moon. So this Jared Moon guy has written a guest post on this blog. Okay, so this is how a guest post works. So this person has written, and you can see this is a long guest post. It's a very elaborative and detailed guest post that this person has written. Okay, and what happens in a guest post is, at the end of it, when the guest post finishes, the person who has written the guest post gets a short bio. Okay, so you can see Jared Moon is a strength and conditioning addict, wannabe adrenaline junkie, loving husband and proud father. He runs a fitness website for the other guys called End of 3 Fitness, and is also the creator of the One Man Barrel program. Okay, so now you see what happens. This person has written a huge and a very elaborative guest post, and in return what's happening is the traffic that this website gets, Art of Manliness, they read this article, they like this article, and they just get curious. Okay, this is a guest post, let's just see what this guy is about, who's written this nice guest post. They see this and they just click on this link and head to this Jared Moon's blog. So this guy gets a lot of traffic from this Art of Manliness blog. So that's how guest posting works. And you can see that this is a very popular blog. Okay, this is a good blog because this is getting a lot of comments. You can see that there's so many shares, social media shares, the website looks good. So this will be a perfect blog to guest post on. And how I can guest post here is I have to get in touch with the owner. So let's see, there must be something which must be saying, that write a guest post for us. Normally, if you don't find it on the top, as I told you, just go to the bottom and click on contact. Okay, so you can see, interested in writing for the Art of Manliness, read our write for AOM page. This is perfect. So you click on this. Okay, so thank you for your interest in writing for the Art of Manliness, but we are no longer taking open guest submissions. So right now they're closed. Okay, they're not taking any guest posts. But if you check out 10 to 15 blogs, one or two or three of them will be, or more of them will be taking guest posts, and you can just contact the owner and write a good article for them so that you get traffic back to your blog. Okay, so this is how guest posting and guest blogging works. It's a great way of immediately increasing a lot of traffic, provided you get the permission. You will see a massive increase in traffic to your own blog, provided you're blogging, guest blogging on a blog which is very popular and getting a lot of traffic. Okay, so this is all about guest blogging. I hope it helped you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.